What if the struggles you face, the frustration, fear, emptiness, are not problems to fix, but messages from the parts of yourself you've left behind? What if the things you dislike most in others are really a reflection of the parts of you that need the most love? The truth is, the world isn't just happening to you. It's holding up a mirror, asking you to see yourself clearly. The very pain you run from is the universe calling you to step into your highest self. In today's video, we're diving deep into the hidden parts of yourself, the suppressed emotions, the forgotten shadows, and the subconscious patterns shaping your life. You'll learn how these buried parts influence your relationships, your reactions, and even your health. Welcome to the Illumined Entrepreneurs. We will be learning metaphysical concepts, ideas, and principles, bridging the gap to make them easy to understand and practical to take action. When we face deep pain or unbearable emotions, we often escape, push them away, or suppress them. When life throws pain at us, our minds protect us by burying those unbearable feelings and memories deep in our subconscious. But here's the catch. Just because these emotions are buried doesn't mean they stop influencing you. The suppressed and forgotten parts of yourself don't disappear. They linger, shaping your choices, reactions, and relationships. The more you ignore these buried parts, the louder they get, often showing up as frustration, fear, or emptiness. The world around you mirrors your inner state. Yet instead of looking inward, we often blame, judge, or resist, deepening our inner fractures. Here's the crazy part. The traits you dislike in others often mirror the ones you've rejected in yourself, while the qualities you admire reflect parts of you you've forgotten. Teal Swan captures this idea beautifully. She says, "A child who grows up in an environment where anger is shamed learns to suppress and deny that emotion to fit in and survive. Over time, that anger becomes subconscious. As an adult, this person remains unaware of their buried anger because they've rejected that part of themselves." And we attract people who reflect the parts of ourselves we've suppressed. Louise Hay taught that suppressed emotions often manifest as physical illness and disease, or dis-ease. Sigmund Freud believed that repressed emotions manifest as dreams, slips of the tongue, or irrational reactions. It must be resolved by bringing the unconscious to light. Carl Jung expands on this with his concept of the shadow self. He writes, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." Jung believed that confronting and integrating the shadow is essential for wholeness. Your reactions to others often reflect what you've denied within yourself, both the traits you reject and the ones you admire. This judgment or rejection doesn't solve the issue. Instead, it reinforces the division within you. Our closest relationships mirror the traits we've suppressed. For example, a lazy person may be drawn to an ambitious partner, and the ambitious partner drawn to a lazy person, and both will feel pain because the other reflects their own rejected aspects. This dynamic stems from a natural drive to become whole, which Jung called individuation, the integration of all aspects of the self, both light and shadow. Freud echoed this truth, writing, "Unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways, unless we consciously process what we've repressed. It will continue to control us in subtle, often destructive ways. Here's where it gets even deeper. The ancient Greek philosopher Plato gave an allegory of a cave, a story where prisoners are chained inside a dark cave, only able to see shadows cast on a wall. These shadows are their reality, all they have ever known. Think of your life, your frustrations, fears, judgments are like those shadows, the distorted reflections of your inner world. But what if you turned around and saw the objects casting the shadows? What if you walked out of the cave into the light, seeing truth for the first time? That light is your awareness, the unfiltered understanding of your own soul, your buried emotions, and your forgotten wholeness. The cave isn't the world, it's your mind. And freedom comes when you turn inward and step into the light of consciousness. As Plato said, reality is created by the mind. We can change our reality by changing our mind. When you shift your perspective, the shadows dissolve, and you see life for what it truly is, a vast, interconnected reflection of your inner self. Life is generous, continually offering us opportunities through relationships, challenges, and circumstances to face the parts of ourselves we've suppressed and integrate them into our whole being. So what is one to do? The first step is to stop running, stop escaping, look inward, not with judgment or resistance, but with complete attention. We have to learn to forgive and release. We see that forgiveness, both of ourselves and of others, is the foundation of healing and wholeness. As Wayne Dyer reminds us, the state of your life reflects the state of your mind. True transformation begins with addressing your inner world. Can you face your pain, your fear, and your hidden emotions and simply see them for what they are? Not as something to fix, but as part of the whole that is you. This process of awareness requires courage, but in that awareness, something extraordinary happens. The divisions begin to dissolve. The fragments come together. And in that wholeness, there is clarity, freedom, and peace. Healing is not something you do. It is something that happens naturally when you stop resisting. Just as the body heals a wound, the mind heals itself with awareness, love, and acceptance. The greatest paradox is that the parts of yourself you've spent a lifetime avoiding are the very keys to your liberation. When you stop running, when you turn toward the darkness with love and understanding, you'll discover that nothing is missing. Everything you've ever needed has been with you all along. The shadows on the cave wall were never real. The fears, the pain, the judgments, they were reflections of your unprocessed self. When you step out of the cave and into the light of awareness, you'll see clearly that everything you ever needed was within you all along. Healing isn't about becoming something new. It's about remembering who you've always been. As the Buddha said, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. The door to freedom is wide open. Are you ready to walk through?